Yo, what is going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. So on today's episode, we're going to be kicking it off with this woman right here, guys, who thinks that men need to step it up. We need to give girls more validation, guys. We need to compliment them more, and we need to treat them like the princesses they are. So let's take a listen to what she has to say. Guys, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
Sometimes I sit back and think about the fact that so many girls are dating guys who don't compliment them. We're all just out here like dating guys who don't compliment us. They literally will look at us while we look really cute and just be like, okay, so you ready to go? No, I'm not ready to go. Are you ready to tell me I look cute?
Yeah, it's almost like you choose the men who don't validate you. Guys, whenever I see men out here just like throwing compliments at these girls, you know, commenting on their Instagram posts, their TikToks, like, oh, you go, queen, you're so pretty and stuff like that. What it essentially does for a lot of these women is they'll just mark you out as a non-romantic prospect. You will forever be the friend, guys, because they've got what they've wanted. Right? You see, it's not about the love and the care, guys. It's about, okay, I've got the validation, I can move on now. And what happens, guys, is when they can't get validation from a man, they cling to him and they try and continue to get that validation out of him. But what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, guys, we're going to be jumping into some of these clown world TikToks. But before we jump in, guys, let's just start it off with today's Patreon question. And this was sent in from BY. Now, BY asks, how do so many women manage to get repeatedly played by the top percentage of men? So, guys, we're going to be taking a look at that question as we continue with today's episode. As always, guys, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
Okay, so you ready to go? No, I'm not ready to go. Are you ready to tell me I look cute?
Women should be exempt from absolutely everything during our periods, especially on the first and second day. We should not have to go to work, go to school, leave our house. We should always be wearing sweatpants with fuzzy socks, wrapped in a heated blanket with a fresh cup of tea. Because I should not have to go about my day with my uterus physically trying to claw its way out of my body. And neither should anyone else.
Well, hey, you know, you go out there, you take time off of your work, and you complain more about the ever-increasing wage gap. You see, this is the thing, guys, is girls want, like, special privileges and all this kind of crap, but then they hate it when it affects their ability to, for example, earn money, right? They want the leave, they want the paid leave and all this kind of crap, guys, but when you give it to them, then they complain about the results. Right? Because results are a result of the work that you put in. Hey, if you want to take 2 days off at the start of every month and go around wearing your robe and your fuzzy shoes or whatever, hey, go for it. But don't complain when you earn less money and when you get less results, guys. You know what I mean?
My uterus physically trying to claw out of my body, and neither should anyone else.
I resent the incels in these chats that call men simps. That is, in my opinion, the highest form of male right now. That's what you guys should be striving to be right now. The rest of the male population, like, if you're not a simp, you're a piece of shit.
Wait, like, guys, like, I record these videos as I'm about to go to bed, right? So oftentimes I'm quite tired and I miss a lot of things, right? But holy hell, that was amazing, right? And how ridiculous that was.
That's what you guys should be striving to be.
Yeah, so we should be striving to be simps, gentlemen. Right? And guys, you will notice this time and time again, where it's almost like it's totally expected that every time you bring up the word simp around a woman, she'll basically take it and be like, oh, you know, this is a good word, right? Simp doesn't exist. You're just treating women with respect, and they want to pretend as though the privileges that they get from men are just things that don't exist. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, he wasn't just getting me all this stuff and doing these things for me because he was a simp. No, he was doing it because he respected women. Everybody should be out here respecting women. That's not respect, that's privilege, right? And they want to keep the privilege, guys. So that's why they talk about the language in this way.
Right now. The rest of the male population, like, if you're not a simp, you're a piece of shit.
Like, do I even need to say any more about that, guys, right? So basically, right, if you're not serving her in any sort of capacity, then you're a terrible human being. Right, and you see, the thing is, the reason why I don't like this logic, like this kind of logic, guys, is one, because the logic is non-existent, but two, because there are a lot of men who will see stuff like this and they'll go, you know what, I want to be a good person, right? And they'll use women's metrics of being a good person. And what are a lot of these women say is the metric to be a good person? It's what is good for me makes you a good person, and that couldn't be further from the truth, guys. Right? Having good morals, having good discipline, caring about your family, your friends, right? Building a strong community. Like, you see, none of these things have anything to do with morals, guys. No. It's everything to do with, you know, how much privilege do you give her, guys? That's so disgusting, man.
When you tell someone, this is how I need to be loved, this is how I feel loved, this is what I need you not to do, this is what I need you to do, and they go out of their way to blatantly ignore that. He doesn't love you. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't.
Yeah, and hey, look, you can make videos like this. The clip ended right there, guys. These girls can make videos like this all they want, but it really doesn't change their behavior at the end of the day. Right, let's take a look at this real quick.
You not to do, this is what I need you to do, and they go out of their way to blatantly ignore that. He doesn't love you. He doesn't.
And you know what? They continue to chase the men who don't change their behavior. You see, here's the thing, guys, is women will be attracted to a man for, you know, the way he looks and his money and stuff like that, and also a set of behaviors that he demonstrates at the beginning. Right? And they'll spend the entire relationship trying to get that man to change. And when he changes, they're no longer interested in him. That guy was probably not doing what you wanted from the very start of the relationship. But girls, guys, they'll stay in the relationship. They'll try to change a man, and then they'll complain when they can't, right?
Care about you. He doesn't.
And we're going to be skipping this clip right here because YouTube will probably flag the video. Let's continue.
Because the guy I'm with is not like a detailed person. I know he's not going to get me anything, even though I don't expect anything. But shout out to those girls that are going to get flowers, teddy bears, chocolates on Valentine's days. You guys are lucky ones, but you know what? I don't need anyone to get me anything. I'm going to get my own chocolates, my own balloons, my own teddy bear. It's going to be nice. I'm going to do it for myself. I don't need him to do it for me, so whatevers.
Welcome.
Guys, I'm telling you, man, when girls are out here, so this woman, I think she referenced Valentine's Day at the beginning, I think, but what is that? Is that an animal outside, man? Anyway, you know, girls will reference all the time that other girls are receiving gifts that they are not, right? And it'll really affect them, guys. Like, it truly will. Because they'll look at it and go, oh, well, Susie down the road, she got flowers, and Samantha down here, you know, they got to go on a cruise together. Like, the guy bought a cruise for them both, and she's over here and she gets nothing, guys. And that really hurts their self-esteem, right? It truly does. A lot of girls, they will measure how well they're cared about by the amount of things that men buy for them. Right, and I don't know about you guys, but that's truly crazy. But hey, you know, it is what it is. But I'm telling you, man, girls will compare the amount of investment. They'll literally value themselves proportionate to the amount of investment that they can get from men. Right, so that's why a lot of girls will have so much entitlement, guys, when they think like, oh, look at all these guys, they bought me this, and this. And like, my counter question is always like, okay, you can get men to buy you things, but where's your long-term relationship with a respectable man? You know, where's your ring? And they never seem to have one, guys.
It's going to be nice. I'm going to do it for myself. I don't need him to do it for me, so whatevers.
Welcome to my first episode of my new game, Why Are You Single? Where you tell me why you think this person's single. Just a warning, it's a very difficult game. Please join me in welcoming Caleb. Woo! Trigger warning, how every good dating profile starts. Let me guess, you're 25 with 3 kids and you've had your fun, now you don't want that. You want a real man to settle down with and take care of you and your kids because you let a loser inside you.
I mean, Caleb sounds pretty on the ball. Like, is that not fairly accurate of a lot of the dating scene right now? Look at this. This guy writes in his I'm glad that men have started to understand the game, man. That makes me smile. He says, let me guess, you're 25 with 3 kids and you've had your fun. Now you want that. You want a real man to settle down with and take care of you and your kids because you know, the dude's no longer around, right? Guys, the fact that this is accurate should terrify people, right? The fact that this is in any way, shape, or form accurate should be concerning, right? That's crazy.
Loser inside you. Okay. I'm 6 foot even. Oh wow, then you can say whatever you want to anyone, King. Continue. Have my own house, 2 vehicles, and I make over $75K a year. What do you bring to the table? Caleb, sugar plum, are you trying to say that your height and having 2 cars is bringing something to the table? Because it's not.
Okay, then go out there and have a long-term relationship with a broke guy, right? Guys, like, girls will be like, you know, the funny thing is they'll say, look, I don't, you know, your height doesn't make you and your money doesn't make you, right? And I agree with that, guys. Like, here's the thing. Girls will say, if you ask them what they're interested in, they'll be like, oh, you know, I need a guy with integrity, right? I need a guy with good values and good, you know, and crap like this. But the real thing that they're looking at is actually these characteristics. You see, she doesn't like the fact that the man is actually pointing it out, right? It's very upsetting to them to realize that men know that, hey, it's about height, it's about assets, it's about money, right? It's not flattering for them, even though this is the truth, guys, because these are the things right here that a lot of women look at, right? They look at how tall you are. They look at, okay, they look at, you know, do you have good genes? Okay. Can you provide for me? And those are basically the 2 criteria right there, guys. You know, those are the alpha and the beta. I hate those words, man. But, you know, for lack of better terms, that's what that really is. Like, is the guy a provider, or is he a guy who's, you know, going to be there for the genetics, shall we say, right?
If the answer is someone else's kids, then go kick rocks. No man will ever want you. Okay, well, I don't think that you speak for all men. I don't really classify you as a man.
He's speaking for the men that have self-respect, right? That's the key part of that. You know, Caleb, maybe if you could add like a little asterisk in there, because here's the thing, guys, no man with self-respect wants to come along and take a girl who has kids from another man seriously. Right now, I've heard of exceptions, right? And like, let me know what you guys think insofar as like dudes who already have kids, they'll date with, you know, girls with kids. Maybe that's a little bit different in your mind. Let me know what you guys think there. But a man without kids, right, who is dating, and a guy who has options and self-respect, he's not going to want to come along and take care of your kids, because that is your terrible decision. I see this comment all the time on my videos, man. There's always some guy, whenever I you know, do videos on single mothers or anything like that, there's always some guy who comments very early on and he says, you know, like looking after another woman's kids is like taking over from another man's save game file, right? I always see that comment around. That's hilarious.
Caleb, more of like a poopy pant baby. Stop saying you're thick. My thick what? You're obese.
Caleb, my man. Caleb.
My obese what? Oh my god, Caleb, thank God you're here. I've been waiting for your take on my body. Also, if your whole thing is gonna be like being mentally superior, at least be like kind of smart. You know what I mean? Also, you're not a dog mom, you're a pet owner. What a stupid, innocuous thing to be upset about. So you tell me, why do you think Caleb's single?
I don't know about you guys, but I think his bio is fantastic, absolutely fantastic, flawless, to be honest with you. But here's the thing, guys, and this is the part about society, guys, is you cannot really say things like this without being cancelled. That's the thing, right? Because the problem with having a bio like this, and this is for the dudes dating, is if you say crap like this, women are essentially going to socially ostracize you. I don't care if it's from your work. I don't care if it's from your friends, your family, whatever, man. You will become the M-word man of your town, right? You'll become the guy that no girl wants to deal with. But the thing is, even if everything you say is completely true, right, they don't want to deal with you. Right? They'll literally socially ostracize you, man. I'm telling you. And hey, don't be surprised, guys, if you write crap like this and girls start to come at you in your workplace and stuff like that, right? Absolutely crazy. But let's continue on. And I find this funny, like we've got the Karen reaction out of it.
To be upset about. So you tell me, why do you think Caleb's single?
Oh my word.
I got bad news for all the woke kings on the internet. You know which guys, the high value guys, the ones talking about, I gotta protect my assets. I will never lose all my money to a woman. I would only ever be with a woman who makes the same amount of money as me or more than me. She has to be my equal. I will never date a woman less than me. Those kind of guys.
I think she was just describing women right there, guys, with the you know, dating their equal. She seems very offended that men would like to date their equal. Right, interesting how that works. But obviously, guys, you know, if you're a man and you want to protect your assets, you know, we're patronizing you right now for some reason. Because Lord forbid, guys, you want to keep your house, your car, everything you've earned throughout your life. Lord forbid you want to keep those things that have required your blood, sweat, and tears to obtain, guys. Apparently, you're deserving of patronization for some reason.
I have 4 words for you guys. 4 words of bad news. Stay at home moms. What happens when I get pregnant if I choose I don't want to work anymore?
Sometimes I sit back.
Then, you know, by the way, guys, before I even answer that, this is the woman, by the way, that I did a video on a few days ago that got divorced. Right? This is the woman that's talking about, like, you know, men are mentally unstable. Guys, I swear to you guys, after you guys go and watch this video, I'm pretty sure this is the exact same woman. Go back and watch that video. It's like one video did particularly well. It has divorce in the title, so you can just go to the videos page and Control F and then type in divorce, and you'll be able to find this woman, I'm pretty sure. But let's go over a question at the end, because I'm a little bit scatterbrained and I kind of missed that.
Stay at home moms. What happens when I get pregnant if I choose I don't want to work anymore?
Sometimes I sit
I don't understand what she thinks that she did there. You see, a lot of men, guys, this is the problem, right? This truly is the problem, is because if you want to get with a girl, right, and let's just say you're earning even money at the start, right, and then she wants to be a stay-at-home mother, you lose your assets. Right, you are liable to lose those things. So, for example, if she has the children, at any point, guys, a woman can up and go, you know what? I'm done with you. I'm no longer interested. And then she can take your assets, and she can also take the kids too, right? And that's the whole problem. I'm not really sure what this woman is pointing out, other than highlighting why men want to keep their assets. Like, I don't particularly understand, guys. Like, I think I'm missing some marbles. Let me know if you think that this woman made a point, because I don't really understand what really happened right there. But again, guys, let's address today's Patreon question as a wrap up to these clips, and then we will get into today's Reddit story. So let me pull this up and try and hit the right button here. Whereabouts are we looking? Okay. How do so many women manage to get repeatedly played by the top percentage of men? And this was sent in by BY. Guys, I want to point out that women will say that they get played, but they voluntarily do these things. Right? Girls will be like, oh, you know, my ex played me, which actually I think will be the next video, right? Coincidentally. They'll be like, oh, you know, this guy played me, or these dudes always seem to play me, guys. But you've got to understand that all of the actions that these girls, you know, do, whether it be go out here and have fun with this guy, that guy, or they become single mothers and stuff like that, guys, you've got to understand that it's all voluntary. Girls will like to play the, you know, the victim card, or the I didn't have any choice in the matter, or I got played. But the fact of the matter is, guys, is that it takes 2 to tango. Right? Whenever they make a decision in regards to men, you know, whether that be having a child, dating a certain guy, whatever the case may be, guys, you've got to understand that they're the people who make those decisions as well. It's not just the men, right? And the other thing to highlight here as well is that they're selecting the top percentage of men. So it's not as if they're selecting any run-of-the-mill guy. They're selecting dudes who have options, who are highly attractive, and then they're complaining about the fact that they aren't getting chosen. It's like, of course you're not getting chosen. Hell, you're not even getting played at that point. You're just not somebody who the man wants to take seriously. And that's what it is. You're not getting played. You're just, you know, girlfriend number 5. Chances are, really, like, and that's what it is. But guys, let's continue into today's we'll actually get into the magazine article first, and then we will continue on with the Reddit story. So let's take a look at this magazine right here. We have got something from medium.com, right? And this is written by a woman named Ellen Yuen, and it is a 5-minute read, okay? She says, 5 ways I was brainwashed into loving toxic men and how I unscrewed my brain. And this is... wow, this ties so well into the question, actually, right? I was brainwashed into loving toxic men, and let's go back into the question right here momentarily. I was played by men. Yeah, guys, it's all the brainwashing. I'm just totally not liable for my decisions at all, guys. I was brainwashed to like a certain type of man. Yeah, okay, brother. Let's continue with this and see what she says. So here we have the whimsical stock image photo, guys. Absolutely beautiful right here, you know. Anyway. Let's have a look. One of the most toxic men I know is sadly my father. He's never around. He has done many seriously wrong things to my mother and us children. He even said to my face that a woman's duty is to give birth. The worst thing about it all, despite being practically separated from my father, my mother still doesn't want me to speak badly of him, which I believe is because she can't seem to overcome the patriarchal mindset. I can't blame her though. Guys, I want to bring back this this line right here. This is a highly controversial line. If you say anything like this, I just want to like prod you guys to think about this for a second, okay? If we took this line and we reversed it in insofar as talking about men, do you think anyone would really bat an eye? So, for example, right? This dude said that, you know, a woman's duty is to give birth, and that's clearly offensive to this woman. But what if we flipped it and we said that a man's duty is to provide for a woman? Right? A man's duty is to provide for a woman financially. Right, guys? We hear that all of the damn time. Nobody seems to nobody bats an eye at the fact that men are expected to become workhorses, right? But when the reverse is said of women and their quote unquote duty, everybody like loses it, guys. They're all like, oh crap, this guy's awful, right? But you reverse the language, apply it to men. Oh, it's completely, totally fine. Nobody has any issue with it. But let's continue. So we talked about the patriarchal mindset. Man, that's hilarious. So that word even like this little phrase right here, the fact that this exists is honestly hilarious to me. Let's continue. Imagine what kind of messages women like my mother and me internalized growing up in this society about men and relationships with men. Inevitably, these beliefs caused me to make many horrible decisions in my early 20s. I let myself get attached to toxic men, including a man who called himself a psychopath. Luckily, I came out alive, but not without serious traumas that required therapy. How did I get there? 5 ways. I was brainwashed. It wasn't my choice, guys. I was brainwashed into choosing and loving these men. Guys, I just want to highlight that a lot of the times, guys, I kind of point out that women are attracted to not very good traits in men. And like, I don't advocate for dudes to go out here and treat girls like trash or treat people in general like trash. Like, I really don't, right? One of the things I would like to outline though is the fact that a lot of these women, guys, they are attracted to men who demonstrate sociopathy and psychopathy. Now, I would encourage you guys to go and do your own research on these two things. These are things that, at least with my understanding, are things that exist on a spectrum, guys. But the point is, girls will complain about men being emotionally unavailable, but their selection process is literally choosing men who are emotionally unavailable, right? If you want to talk about one of the key tenets of being emotionally unavailable, guys, you know, it's sociopathy in a nutshell, basically. It truly is. But, you know, we're just going to clearly overlook that, guys, and assume for a moment that it's not her fault at all, of course. Let's continue. Putting a man's love on a pedestal. I went a long time thinking I wasn't good enough for a man's love, as if it was this scarce thing that I had to fight for. I blame this on my father's absence and the media's portrayal of men in love. When you're his dream girl, he'll do anything for you. If he treats you like crap, it's just because you ain't that girl. Basically, you're the problem, and his love is the ultimate prize. What? Well, that's BS. Think this: you don't need a man's love. A man's interest in you is not your responsibility or a testament to your self-worth. It's his choice. You are worthy of love, and love should be given freely, not chased after. Okay, yeah, for all those girls out here who complain about, you know, like that woman in the last clip, guys, you know, men protecting their assets or wanting to date their equal, try and square that up with this sentence right here, guys, about the fact that love should be given freely. Do you think that men get love given to them for free, guys? Right? Like, is love something that is given free to men? Absolutely not. Now, you could say that maybe, you know, family and stuff like that, but from society as a whole, definitely not. From the opposite gender, definitely not. But apparently, guys, love is something that should be given freely, guys. You know, just not in the case of men, obviously. Why is this a hyperlink? Men benefit from committed relationships just as much as women, apparently, guys. If anything, he should pursue you, not you after him. Yeah, guys, because when you go out there and you get screwed over in marriage, for example, guys, remember, you are the privileged one. You benefit the most from committed relationships. That is why, guys, as these girls get onto knocking into, you know, 30 plus years of age, guys, it is your privilege to come along and save them from the journey ahead. Like, that's just amazing to me how people seem to think that long-term relationships are beneficial to men. I completely disagree with that, but let's continue on with this little article here. 2, attributing value to traits that are really just toxic masculinity. Wow. My father puts his work before anyone else and rarely shows his emotions. I used to think that this is how a man should be, and as long as he provides for the family, he's doing enough. Guys, I want to posit something to you, for example, okay? If you're a man and you don't put your work before anything else and you show a lot of emotion, how does society treat you in return for that? How do women treat you? How does your family unit treat you if you don't prioritize work and you show a lot of emotions? And they treat you like crap, guys. Right? And here's the thing, guys. There is a time to show emotion and there's a time to, put your head down and work. And a lot of men understand that, hey, I've got to be working right now. People don't look up to me so I can cry. I'll cry in my own time. I'll handle my emotions properly. But the point is that I've got to get my head down and work, right? Because here's the thing, guys, is they'll say that they want emotionally available men. They'll say that they want to be put first, but they don't. They absolutely don't. They want that guy who, there's nobody who can stop him and, he doesn't really show emotions. And that's just the way it goes. Let's continue. This belief led me to date men who never had time for me and treated me like a second-class citizen. The effed up thing was that I thought it was normal. I ignored my needs to accommodate their emotional unavailability and their crappy life values. Yeah, guys, because if you don't put women first, apparently you have crappy life values. Interesting. Think this. You need a partner who is emotionally available and present. It's the minimum. It doesn't matter how desirable someone seems. If they don't add real value to you in your life, they're not the right match for you. Remember to assess your partner in relation to you and your life. Wow, this is, some of these hyperlinks, guys, I think that I might use for future articles because they sound like some bullcrap. Look at this. Assess your partner in relation to you and your life. What do you think that means, guys? Basically just means as you get older, lock down a dude who's going to provide for you financially. That's my guess on that one. You deserve to be your partner's first priority. Your partner should put you before his job or anything else. Let's continue. Believing the BS that men love in their own way. If you ask me how I know my father actually loves me, I really can't answer you because there's no factual evidence, except for my mother's endless reassurance, or you can say gaslighting, that he cared about us very much. Yeah, because, a man obviously just works really hard and puts his work first just for the fun of it. He's not doing that so that he can provide for you or anything like that. No. It's got nothing to do with that. He obviously just didn't care. The same BS later surfaced in my love life. I was told left and right and center that if a man never tells you he loves you and gives no crap about you on special occasions, it's okay because his love language is probably physical touch. Come on! Exclamation mark. To my father and all of these men, I'll say this plain and simple. If you really love in that way, your own damn way, it's not enough. Do better. Oh, I'm just going to sit back in my chair for a second, guys. Have a bit of a stretch because that's some hilarious garbage right there. Oh. That's crazy. Do better, guys. Do better. Come on now. Wow, that's wild. Think this. You deserve to be loved in a way that you can understand and appreciate. There are plenty of people out there. Don't settle for one that makes the beautiful and simple thing called love feel like rocket science. If someone's love feels really hard to recognize, it is not enough. Now let's go on to this last point and then we will continue on to today's Reddit story, guys. So let's have a look. From adolescence to my early 20s, I found myself acting and dressing not for myself, but for male attention. I wanted to lose weight to have a body that would be very attractive to a man. I was constantly seeking their validation without knowing why, but it wasn't just my appearance. I tried to morph myself into the infamous cool girl or dream girl, which caused me to objectify myself and obsess about what others thought of me. I ended up constantly feeling insecure and anxious like a shell of myself. And guys, this is how we end up, by the way, this phrase right here, anxious and like a shell of myself. This is how we end up with those TikToks. Like I showed one a few days ago, where a woman was literally explaining that due to her relationship past, she would find herself disassociating because Chad wouldn't want her. It literally fractures their mental, guys. Like it truly does when dudes don't want them. It was like my life was a stage and the audience was all male. Think this. And they okay. And they say that they don't do these things, by the way, For men, they do it for themselves. Yeah, all right. Think this: male attention isn't a prize. It has no real value. Ask yourself, am I doing this for me or for anyone? Live your life on your terms. If a man gives you unsolicited comments on your hair, your outfit, or your body, make it clear to him that nobody asks him. Your opinions of you should matter the most. Absolutely, eloquently put, guys. Fantastic article here. Obviously, I'll make a mailing list and send it out to everybody, guys, so that we don't forget to step up, of course. But with that being said, let's continue on to today's Reddit story and wrap up today's episode. So let's take a look at this. This is not a story, but this is from Reddit. This is from our favorite subreddit, guys, FDS, and the title is a paragraph, and it begins by saying, "Shower thought. Society literally had to coin the term gentleman in order to accentuate behaviors that show a minimum level of consideration and respect towards women. Also, it indirectly shows that the vast majority of other men don't care about such values. I want to add that I haven't looked up the actual etymology, which shouldn't be that far from the truth anyway, just looking at it from a sociological standpoint." Man, I tell you, anytime someone brings up sociology at this point in time, guys, it's like social sciences have really just been turned into the gutter, guys. They really have. A lot of you, I'm sure, are fans of people like Jordan Peterson, who really outlined the state of the education system at the moment, particularly the social sciences. And this is what he talks about when he actually means that, guys, is things like sociology. But obviously, you know, she's looking at it from a sociological standpoint, guys. She has her PhD ready to go. So obviously, we should all be listening attentively. Let's continue. Important. Being a gentleman per se doesn't make a man high value. Buying you flowers or holding the door for you doesn't mean anything if he hasn't proven himself with consistency through time. Girl, even then. Sometimes doing nice gestures gives space for love bombing. Never underestimate a man's ability to fake things. That's why we always, and I mean always, vet. Okay, brilliant little article here, guys. Let me just try and make sense of this. Okay. Blah blah blah, it ended blah 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 blah. Yeah, look, I can't make sense of that, guys. We're gonna be leaving today's episode. No, you know what, we'll have a genuine crack at that. I'm very bloody tired, but let's have a look. Okay, so she wants a gentleman. Society had to coin the term gentleman in order to accentuate certain behaviors. You see, here's the thing: a lot of girls think that you know, being a gentleman, respecting women, they'll say that it's like quote unquote normal. Like every girl should be respected. You should treat women this and that way. But what they don't understand, guys, is they're being treated in such a way that's actually privilege. They're not being respected. They're being given crap. You see what I'm saying? Girls will be like, oh yeah, I want to be respected. And what respect really means to a lot of these girls is you have to give them crap. That's what it means, right? It's like, look at this. Okay, you have to buy flowers, open doors, you know, demonstrate through consistency and stuff like that. And that's being a gentleman, guys. You know, buying her things, taking her out, and crap like that. I don't know, man. This entire subreddit is absolute craziness to me. But we are going to be ending today's episode there. Because I tell you what, guys, I am very tired. Guys, we're going to be calling it there. Make sure to leave your thoughts and your comments. And as always, guys, make sure that you take care of yourselves. And I'll be seeing you boys in the next episode. Peace. Yo, what is going on, guys? Past Taylor here. Just want to say thank you if you made it to the end of today's video. With that being said, make sure you go and show some love to the editor of today's video, guys. You can find free Apple Watch wallpapers over on his website, www.applewatchfaces.io. Make sure you head over there, guys, and bookmark the tab to show some support for your boy. He's gone through the blood, sweat, and tears of putting together today's video, guys, so make sure to go and show him some support for what he has endured today. Take it easy, guys, and peace for real this time.